Hello, my name is Nikolaï Khrust and I would like to introduce my new synthesizer project GranShaper. There is a lot of granulators in the world, but what's the difference between just granulating and synthesis? For our opinion, synthesis starts when we can no more hear the source sound. Now we're hearing a fragment of the First Chamber Symphony by Nikolaï Khrust. But when we increase the repetition frequency, our grain becomes shorter and shorter. And when we cross the border of 20 Hz, the new synthesis, new sound starts. So the first parameter we operate with is the repetition frequency. On the low frequencies, it produces just the tempo or rhythm, but on the high frequencies, it's actually the pitch of a new tone. The second important parameter is the grain rate. Now it's the normal speed, 1:1, but we can change it and play our grain faster or slower. On high frequencies, it gives us a changing the format of the sound. We can hear an overtone arpeggio. The third parameter, which is important for us, we can choose any part of our source sound. This is what we call a granular vocoder. Of course, this is not a vocoder because it's not a spectral technique, but it's a vocoder-like effect. Using my speech as a source sound illustrates this effect very well.
It's not a spectral technique, but it's a vocoder-like effect.
Our synthesizer can produce tones, so when we use multiple sound, so-called granular vocoder is even more impressive.
It's not a spectral technique, but it's a vocoder-like effect.
This chord also can be microtonal. We can alter its pitches by changing number of steps per octave, or by changing an octave itself.
It's a spectral technique, but it's a vocoder-like effect.
Of course, it is impossible to imagine granular synthesis without randomization. We can randomize any of our three parameters in 4 ways each. Multiplicity increases the number of sub-voices per note, making a stereo sound. But the most innovative part of our synth is what we call GranShaping, a combination of waveshaping and granular synthesis. You can notice that most of our controls here are double. You can see 2 waveforms, 2 controls for grain starting position and 2 controls for playing rate. This is because we actually can use 2 sounds and 2 grains here. The second grain appears to be a transfer function for the first one. Or we can also say that the first one, the first sound, which we call control sound, controlling the playing position for the second one. That will be a different description for the same thing, a wave shape. By this 2D slider, we can change gradually from the control sound to wave shaping and to the transfer sound. Our transfer sound is actually a sound of vibraphone. I like this very energetic sound, and also randomization here are very interesting. Did you? Here are no randomization at all. So how we can make it? We also have an interesting windowing option. In this position we have von Hahn window. Here we have almost rectangle window. And here we have similar shapes of window but more narrow. So in low frequencies it is more staccato. But on high frequencies is some interesting high frequencies, high partials sounds. And here is wave shaping. Here we can change overall stereo base, spreading sound from completely mono to full stereo. And also we can change the stereo base of every sound. Since our sounds are mono, so this affects almost nothing, but for stereophile it could be the interesting options of making another kind of stereo. Another interesting option is using wave shaping with extremely low playing rate position. So when we have a very low transfer file position, we mostly hear our control sound. Now you can hear the Cherokee sound, a very known sound of Maximus P. And when we, vice versa, use extremely low playing rate for this control sound, we can describe our process rather as controlling the playback of the transfer function. So we hear the transfer sound more than the control one. I created the synthesizer using my standard synthesizer framework patch, which I called MMMM. It provides sort of wrapper, making possible MIDI control, polyphony, microtonality, envelopes, pedaling, including volume pedal, and different kind of wheels. For example, here you can see the bar for pitch bend wheel, which is tuned now for ±4 octaves. MMM is made for making synthesizers more easily. You can open a single voice and see the sub-patcher with the script put your synthesizer here. So you can put your engine and MMM will do the rest. I hope that MMM standard will be the base of a sort of open library for synthesizers. I already made several ones using this framework patch. Of course, our GranShaper synth is a project. There are still many things to improve in it. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.